everybody, thanks for joining me. It's Melissa with Avondale Woodworks. You can't see me, but I am wearing a mask because what I'm going to do is resin this piece for you today. This is for a client and a good friend. So hi Karis, it's about to be heading your way. I just wanted to do this real quick because I don't think I've done a resin video where I just resin, and it won't take very long to do that because I've already got everything mixed up. But I wanted to share my setup with you. So this is an 18 by 24 piece. I do have it taped on the bottom. It is sitting on some medium-sized push pins so that it sits up from the base. I also have two pieces of like a real thin board underneath it, taped to it and stuffed under the sides so that it supports the center, because when you put resin on, it does weigh your canvas down, and I don't want the canvas to droop when it's done, when it's dry. So I'm just propping it up right now and giving it support underneath. It is in a completely level space. Got my level on it just to make sure. Never go anywhere without that when I'm doing artwork. This tub that you see right here, you can get this at any hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. It is simply just a washing machine underpan. Like you would, when you buy a new washing machine or something, you might put this underneath it to catch any leaks or something like that. I don't know. I believe it's 24 by 30. And what I have done is I have taken sticky tack and I have put it around all four of the pieces of the push pins on the underneath, and stuck that down to the base so that it doesn't move when I'm like rubbing my hands over it, because I absolutely hate like putting resin on and then the piece slides out of the way and you have no idea then if you're still level. I need this piece to stay level while I'm resining it, so that's why I do that. And then I mean, it is plastic, so you don't have to put the stuff down that I have around it that you see here, all the blue and the blue tape. It will come off if you just take like a spatula to it when it's dry. It'll just pop off in like big pieces, which is great, but I wanted to try this time, so it's a first for me. So what I did was I just took a couple of the puppy pee pads, turned them upside down, placed them slightly underneath, and then taped it down so that it doesn't hit the edges of my canvas. And then that way when I'm done I can pull the piece out and just take the puppy pads up and I don't have to clean anything up. And then also I have another exactly the same size washing bin tub as this, so that when this is dry, or when this is done being resined, I will just take it to the other place where I want to store it that is level, which is just right over there on the stage, and I will take that washing pan tub and just slide it over top and place it on top of this one, and then that way not a single thing can get to it while it is drying. Okay, so I'm actually just wearing a blue mask today that normally everybody sees because I'm trying to talk to you, but if I wasn't recording I would be wearing this mask, the Respirator Mask. I can't stress that enough, guys. You need to have your breathing protected. I'm living with somebody who struggles to breathe every single day, and it's not fun. It's not fun. It inhibits his life. It limits his life in a very serious way every single day. So make sure you always have protection. Make sure you always have a level. The next thing that I have on hand is my heat gun. This is a Wagner heat gun. I got it, I believe, at Menards. Actually, I didn't get it. My husband bought it for me. I want to say it was like 30 or 40 bucks. Every time I resin, I use this. Now, when I just do my fluid art, I use the torch. But when I resin, I use the heat gun. And I use it on, you can see it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels right there. I use it on about the 4th or the 5th level, just depending. So you'll see me doing that. Always make sure you have a pair of tweezers, because when you're done resining, you're going to find little tiny squiggly things all over it. No matter, I mean, you can have air purifiers, you're still going to find stuff. I've got a giant air purifier directly above me, and I still have to take stuff out of it, because if you don't, it'll show up in your resin, and it will glare at you. And you don't want that. Okay, I am using art resin today. It is a 1-to-1 resin, meaning you put in the same amount of the hardener as you put in the same amount of the resin, 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, I went to artresin.com, and they have a calculator, and you put in your length and your width of your canvas, and it tells you exactly how many ounces of resin you need to use to accurately, sufficiently cover your piece. So when I went there for this, it told me I needed 15 ounces of resin. These are 8-ounce bottles. Resin is expensive, you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a super awesome quality finish, but I mean, you're probably looking at, I want to say these are probably $15 a bottle, something like that. So if you get a piece from somebody who's put resin on your piece for you, expect to pay for that, because it is a massive expense for your artist. Okay, but it's a great finish. I love it. And then what I do while I'm setting everything up, and I don't want to get anything on it, but I put my resin bottles, I have 2 of these. They are 2.5 quart tubs, pitchers. I just run really hot water in them, and then I bring them out to the shop, and I stick my resin bottles right down inside of it. Make sure the lids are closed tight, because you don't want water getting in your resin, but I stick it right down inside, and I'll let it sit in them for about 15 to 20 minutes so that my resin is completely warmed up and in great shape to use. Okay, and then I mix the resin 1-to-1 ratio. Here it is already mixed. You don't need to see me do that. I can do a video on that if you want me to one day, but it's 1-to-1 ratio, and then I set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes, and I stir for 5 minutes, scraping the side many times, scraping the popsicle stick many times, and then it should run clear. Now, yeah, there are some bubbles in it, but those will come out with the heat gun. Okay, so I am ready to resin. No more talking when I'm about what to do. I'm just gonna do it. So join me. Thanks for hanging out. Here we go. So I'm just gonna spread it out all over. I'm gonna try to leave some so that I have a little for the edges. I mean, I'll have some for the edges, but I got a little in the bottom of this right now that I can go and dig out with my fingers to get the sides if I need to. So I'm gonna put that to the side, and then always wear gloves. You do not want to get resin on your hands or your skin. If you do, make sure you get yourself some isopropyl alcohol. It will take it off of your tools. If you get it on, say, your heat gun or something like that, it'll take it off of your hands fairly easy. So make sure you have that on hand as well too. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did clean this piece before I started the video. I just cleaned it with a regular wet wipe, and then dried it off with a paper towel, because you don't want any oil at all on your surface when you're resining. If you do, your resin will not stick. So if you use silicone, you're gonna have to clean it super well to make sure there's no oil left, or your resin will not stick. Okay, so then I just take my hands and I just start rubbing. Oh, this is so satisfying, you guys. Jeez, this is satisfying. I love this feeling. It's so cool. I know that might sound weird, but jeez, love it. Look at how pretty it's making those colors. Oh, so beautiful. This is why you pay for resin. This is why you want your pieces coated in resin. If you can afford to pay your artist to do it. I know when I do it, I charge my clients an extra 5 cents per square inch to put the resin on. but that doesn't sound like a lot, but take it to, you know, take it times 18 times 24, which is what this piece is. 18 times 24 is like what, 320 some square inches, so take that times an extra 5 cents, and I want to say it raises the price by about 20 bucks, so not awful, totally worth it. Please consider it if you're given that option with your artist. Okay, now it has run over the sides for me, which is what I wanted it to do, so I'm just taking my gloves and going around the sides. I've got some resin on the tape that I put down, so I will pick that up with my fingers and then put that on my sides. You have about 40 to 45 minutes to work with your resin once you have stirred it. And of course I had mine stirred before I started this video, so I've got less time than I might think. Oh, it's a little thin over here. I can feel it because my hand is not sliding. So I'm going to go to my cup. I'm just going to dig into my cup. I'm going to get some of the resin I had left over. Oh, that's nice and warm. It's like sticking your hands in a warm bath water, but it's just silky smooth. No, it feels so good. It's very relaxing for me as the artist to do it. Okay, let's see what we got going over here. Oh, a little dry, so we'll get a little more out of the cup. Put it on. We're going to go around to the other side because I'm short. Get a little more out of the cup. A little more. Just want to make sure I get it all nice and even. My finger should just slide across the edge real easy if I got it all on there. Feels like I did. I think this is on here as well. Yep. And this one. We're good. Okay. Now I am going to sit back and look at it for just a second. I'm going to try to see if I can, that's why I have this big ring light right above me up here. It helps me see the surface so I can see if I missed anywhere, if there's any blank canvas spots where the resin didn't coat. And I would get those real quick if I did see any. I don't see any. Gosh, this is pretty. It's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to take my gloves off now. And I'm going to use the heat gun. Woo. Okay. Sweaty hands. Sweaty hands. Okay, turning my heat gun on. Okay, I turned it on. You can see it's got a green light there. I'm going to hit the plus sign and take it up to the 5th level. And then I'm just going to take it and go over, not too close, probably about an inch or so away. Real slow. And it is seriously popping all those bubbles. It's really satisfying to watch because to the naked eye you can't even see them. You cannot see that many bubbles on this thing. But I see it when the heat gun hits it. Don't get too close, you will burn your resin and you can't come back from that. It's ruined. You would have to completely sand your resin totally off your entire piece because you can't just do part of it and then re-resin it again, which then costs you double as the artist You can't, or I wouldn't anyway, charge my client for that, because that would have been my mistake. Getting the sides. And you guys see how awesomely bright those colors are? And it just looks like a layer of glass has been put on it now. It's perfection. I'm going to go over it real quick one more time the other direction, just in case I missed anything. This is where I need to have longer arms. Okay, I'm going to turn my heat gun off, because I'm done with it. And now I'm going to take my trusty, what the fudge are these guys called again? Blah, 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 tweezers. Yep, tweezers. Okay. And all I'm really doing right now, you guys, is scanning the surface for those little fuzzies that pop up. And they just pop up. You never know. And you like get one, you're like, sweet, got it. And then you turn around, you're like, gosh dang it, there's another one. But I focused our air conditioner fan the opposite direction today, and I think it may have helped me, because I am really not seeing a lot of stuff I need to get off. Don't worry when you go into it with your tweezers and it makes like a little dent. This has not started to dry yet, so it will still self-level. Resin is self-leveling. That's why when I did this to it with my hands, it didn't matter to me if I was leaving like little ripples and stuff, because I know it will do this. It will self-level. There's one. There's one. I don't know if you can see that in the camera if I bring it right up to you. Those types of things, they end up in your piece. Ah, there's another one. See what I mean? There's two more. Oh no. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Resurfacing the air conditioner fan did not do anything for me. Ah, there's another one. There's another one. Okay, I'm gonna take off, say goodbye, so I can focus on this. You guys don't need to watch me gather all of these. I will give this about, I want to say it takes like 10 to 15 hours to dry, 12 to 15, but I always give it about 24, just because I want to make sure it's dry. And then I'll run out the next day like it's Christmas morning and be like, oh my god, how to dry, how to dry, how to dry. Ah! Oh, there's another one. Okay, I gotta focus, guys. I gotta get these out before it starts drying on me. So I will see you the next time. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Bye.